Hello, hi. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Welcome to this week's video. We're Crystal Iris Makeup Bar, here to illuminate the beauty within you. So I'm going to go in with the yellow as my transition shade from the Juvia's Place Zulu palette. So I'm just going to go in with light strokes, not too much product on my brush. As you can see, I'm using a fluffy brush. And I'm just making sure that I'm applying the yellow shade or yellow eyeshadow just beneath the brow line. So there we go. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Swipe, swipe, swipe. So swiping it on lightly. I'm now moving on to the other eye and just doing the same technique. And it's gentle swiping, not full-on press-on swipe. And for anyone who asks, I always say that she's my little sister because I don't want to be that old. And then we're going to go back into the Juvia's Place Zulu palette, and I'm going into the green eyeshadow. This one doesn't have names, so yeah, I'm just going to call the colors as I see them. So it's a bit of a green eyeshadow, and right there by the corner of the eye I am going to go in with it, not covering the entire eye but just the wing part of the eye, and blend it into the yellow. And I'm going to do the same on the other eye as well, kind of creating a V with the product. Again, I'm not using too much product. It's just a light product to use as my guide. And then I'm going to go back again with the yellow so that I blend the two together and replace the product that was lost as I applied the green eyeshadow. So again, sweep, 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 and keep it moving. And to cut my crease, I'm using the Beckissue eyeshadow primer. I didn't fix up my brush because I have this technique I use to flatten it out, but I didn't do so, and I had to get straight to working. So it kind of took me a while to cut my crease, and it wasn't as sharp as I would have loved for it to be, but all the same, I'm happy with how we cut it. So I had to first see where her, what do you call this, her eyelid, you know how when some people open their eyes, it covers up most of their eyelid. So I had to make sure that wherever I was cutting my crease at, it would still be visible even if she had her eyes open. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now, just cutting that crease. And like I said, it really took me a while because I didn't fix up my brush. I think in the next video I will show you how I fix up my brush, and when my brush is well flattened out, I think it takes me a little while to get a cut crease in place because it'll be really sharp, like razor sharp, and you need it to be razor sharp to get the perfect cut crease. But all the same, we move. I'm just doing the same technique on the other eye as well, making sure that the shape is similar to the previous eye as well. I really hope she likes this look. She's been asking me to do this look for quite a while now, and yeah, today I was like, well, since you're not studying, she's doing her A-levels, so I was like, since today you're not studying, I will definitely do your makeup look, and then you have to promise to study in the evening because we're expecting them A's, hey? And then I'm going to go in with a beauty sponge and just dab it where I placed the eyeshadow primer so that it's not too tacky. And because if you place your product and the eyelid is too tacky, what you end up with is you don't even want to know. It's a cakey type of eyeshadow, and it'll have lines and it won't be neat at all. So make sure you blend it in. And then we're going in with the Yardley Illuminating primer because she has really dry skin, and I'm just going to apply that on her face whilst the primer sets again. Even after I've dabbed on it with the sponge, I'm still going to leave it to dry on its own a bit. And then now I'm going to go in with the yellow again from Juvia's Place Zulu palette in the inner corner of her eye. And I think I'm going in at, let's say, a 40%, maybe a 30 even. But yeah, just the inner corner of her eye with that yellow, the same yellow that I used as the transition shade. But here I'm placing a lot of it, and the fact that I now have primer on the eyelids will ensure that the color that I get from it is more intense than the one from when we were placing it as the transition shade. And of course the fact that we are using a whole lot more of the product than before counts for the intensity of the color. So I'm just placing it there and making sure that I've got the same shape for both the eyes. And then I'm going to go in. I can't remember the name of this eyeshadow palette, but I think it's Meis. And I'm taking in the blue with a small blending brush, and I'm just placing it on top. I'm not swiping or anything. I'm just placing it on top, and I haven't started to blend it in with the yellow. I'm just placing it on the rest of the eye so that the eye is totally covered. So as you can see, you can see where the yellow starts and ends and where the blue starts and ends. And you don't want that when you're doing your makeup, because you're supposed to blend them all together until it's not visible where the other one starts and the other one ends. So I wasn't really happy with the blue from that other palette. I wanted it to be a bit more intense. And so I went into the Juvia's Masquerade palette, I think. I'm not sure. And I took the blue from there. And then what I did is I went back to get more yellow. And then I swiped the yellow over part of the blue. And then I started to blend the two. And it created a sort of lime look, not a sort of lime, but it was actually a lime look, and it was a beautiful look. And again, I went in with the blue and that fluffy small blending brush, and I started to blend the two shades together. I always say, hey, who needs cardio when you've got blending, because your arms will let you know that you have done the work. So I started to blend some more, and then I went back and took the Meis blue eyeshadow and created the outer corner of the eye into a wing using the blue again. So as you can see, where the blue was, it now looks a bit limeish greenish. So the blue is now going to go to the outer V corner. And if you hear someone snoring, it's my son. Please understand. This is the working life of a mom. It's 11:30 p.m. and I just put him to bed now, which is a win for us, because these days he's going to bed after midnight. So yeah, I'm sleeping next to him. I'm lying next to him, that is. So he's snoring his little cute cheeks out. And I'm going in now with the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Mocha, and I sprayed some setting spray onto my Real Techniques brush, and now I am just dabbing the product all around the face. I'm not swiping it, I'm dabbing and pushing it. I find using the brush is much more better than the blenders, but I could be wrong. For some, I think it always depends with the person's skin type. You know, there are some people whose skin type and all is easier to work with using a beauty blender, and I think some people, their skin is best with the brush. I prefer the brush all the same. And then we're going to just go in and contour her face with the LA Girl Dark Cocoa, and then highlight her under eye. Mainly I was only highlighting to clean up the eyeshadow that fell off as we did the eye, to make sure that our wing was really, really sharp, because I didn't want to go in with any eyeliner, so I wanted the blue eyeshadow to really stand out. That's why I had to clean it up. And so I highlighted with the almond shade from LA Girl still, and again I sprayed just a little bit on my beauty sponge, and then I started dabbing the product into her skin, and yeah, dab, and blend it well into the rest of the face. And I'm really happy because she wasn't talking too much, especially when we were doing the eye. I once had a client who was so talkative and would laugh so much. I wasn't really happy with how it turned out because she was so talkative. It ended up looking like a real maze. You know, you want someone to be still, especially when you're working around the eye. The rest of the face doesn't really matter, but like when you're still working around the eye, you'd really prefer for someone to be still, so that you get, you know, everything on point. And now I'm setting her under eye with the Revlon Candid setting spray in the shade 3, and her nose, and of course those sides. Not too much though. I'm not really a fan of baking, especially for the lower part of the face, but her under eye, I'm definitely going to make her bake that out. So we're going to go in with the MAC eyeliner in the shade Coffee Brown and just outline her lip. And she's got really thin lips, so I needed to define them. And then I'm going to go in with the Bellapierre lip palette, and we're going to go in with the Incognito. Yeah, I think that's the shade we used, Incognito. And of course, mix it up. and then blend the liner together with the lipstick. And then to clean up, we're going to go in with the Revlon Dark Cocoa and just swipe, and dust off the setting powder as we mix it together with the pressed powder. And make sure you get the neck and the ears, because you don't want people to be 2 shades or 3 shades even. And of course, clean up the brow, front part of the brow. And then we go in with our setting spray and then dry it off. And then for highlight, I'm using the Black Opal palette because I don't have highlight or bronzer. I ran out, so I'm just going to improvise and then get her to smile. And yeah, we went in and got the eyelashes on and put lip gloss, and this was our final look. Crystal Iris Makeup Bar, illuminating the beauty within you.